Malcolm X was a bisexual male prostitute.
Now, before everybody gets all up in arms and starts screaming liar, yeah, there was a point in time in Malcolm X's life when he engaged in some non-hetero activities for money in his younger years, and noted in the book by Manning.
I gotta stop him right there. What's good, y'all? We ain't gonna even waste no time. Let's just get into it. So number one, the book he's referring to, Malcolm X, A Life of Reinvention, was very controversial and caused many debates, specifically because of what these brothers are talking about, how he mentions that Malcolm X was gay, but also a number of other things that made people question the validity of this book. Apparently, it was so bad that a group of black scholars and activists got together just to respond to it with a book called A Lie of Reinvention, correcting Manning Marble's Malcolm X. You can pause the read. I just want to point something out right quick. Even went as far as to say that Marble's biography is at best flawed and at worst a major setback in American history, African American studies, and scholarship on the life of Malcolm X. Now, these are two of the brothers that worked on the book. Dr. Gerard Ball, I actually believe he edited as well, and Dr. Todd Burrows. Here's what they had to say.
It's not only that, and I'm just using this as an example, it's not only that there was a claim that Malcolm was gay, but there was a claim based on hearsay, based on speculation without evidence, and where on page 66 at the beginning of Marable's book, there's this conversation about whether or not Malcolm's retelling of someone else's story. In other words, saying that he heard from someone else, someone put powder on some other man as some sort of process of youthful prostitution for white men. By the end of the book, Malcolm is just listed as a homosexual. Again, with no evidence.
Now, they point out a couple other interesting things as well. Apparently, the head editor of the publishing company that was working with Manning said that the real Malcolm X scared her. And that may be why they left so much out of the book. Dr. Gerard said the part where he speaks about him interacting with Max Stanford, the Republic of New Africa at the time, is only mentioned so Manning can talk about how he felt Malcolm was feeling at the time. There was no mention of them trying to create an urban guerrilla warfare movement. And I think that's one of the most important parts about what these brothers are claiming. They have been trying to destroy this man's legacy for years in order to prevent another Malcolm X, a black man who was war ready, fighting for his people not only here, because he was FBA, half FBA, whatever, but also his people globally. That's a major issue for white supremacy. And I know some may think, what's the big deal about people thinking he's gay? It's untrue. Also, his wife, children, and nation that was behind him didn't know or believe him to be associated with anything like that. Malcolm has interviews and an autobiography. He has never confirmed this. Let's just be real. This is another attack on black masculinity, the black male image, and of course, our FBA family and riders. Since they can no longer attack him, they'll attack the image we have of him.